So from a biological standpoint, we know that geriatric pregnancy starts at around 35.
Successfully married, that they are confident that with their partner, they've got to actually fulfill things that they wanted to do, that it's not something you feel stuck in.
But if I had a daughter and she told me that she was in a relationship for 6 years, you guys don't even live together, I would say that's a major red flag. So from a biological standpoint, we know that geriatric pregnancy starts at around 35. It would actually make sense for you to want to be in a marriage, or at least you're already in a serious relationship. So I would say a marriage by your 30s so you can actually start planning to start your family. That to me makes sense. The whole waiting to 30 makes sense, and too, and giving him that ultimatum makes sense.
I get what she's
Yeah.
saying with they
Actually, what's
started
the
young at
next one?
18, so there's no need to rush for that. But I mean, at this point, at 27, you guys are almost 30. It certainly doesn't take that long. And if this is truly the right person for you, you can still like meet all your passion to be able to do the things that you want to do with them being supportive. If they are that right person, that's not going to stop you from being able to develop and become this person that you're wanting to be by 30. So I don't, I'm not saying, for you, that's how you feel, but I feel like it shouldn't stop anything if this is your person. Like that shouldn't put a lid on you being able to be this wonderful person that you want to be by 30, because 30, again, it's just an arbitrary number that doesn't mean anything.
I appreciate you guys' comments.
An arbitrary number. That's
I
interesting.
mean, that's just like a random number. Like at 30, like things will be, that's the number to get married at. Like it's just a random.
Yeah, it's not the actual number. I think it's more so of when we look at people who are married in their 20s, how well did they know themselves? That the union that they're in, they can say that they've established who they want to be. And then really when we get into the second layer of marriages, successfully married, that they are confident that with their partner, they've got to actually fulfill things that they wanted to do, that it's not something you feel stuck in. So like a lot of the time. Huh?
Are y'all living together like they're married?
No.
You guys do not live together? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think you that for now after all that time playing wife and not really being a wife.
Yeah. And we know wives that are being wives, but how much do they enjoy that? I don't know. I think when we look at our situation, we have to be logical about it. That I understand the whole, like, this is what marriage means and all of that, but the fluffs of it really means nothing, because it's wives who husbands don't do anything for them or support them in any way. But you signed up to do something because in a time frame it sounds right to do. Or you thought this person was something that in time you found out that it was something completely different. Or we can go further with, okay, you got married because you had a kid or a kid was on the way. So there's a lot of exterior motives that go into marriage that when we test it under the faith of what God aligns it for, is that what people are following.
Okay, but you want to marry him, this person.
I mean, yes, if it's in the design to happen, yes.
All right, so let me say one thing. Here's my thoughts on it, and take it with a grain of salt if you want. But if I had a daughter with your age, right, and past 25, and she told me that she was in a relationship for 6 years, and you guys don't even live together, I would say that's a major red flag, and he's wasting your time, right? Essentially, all the cards are in his hands. Whether or not he actually makes a move to continue the relationship or not, or make the move to even live with you and really test out how it would look like living together post marriage, everything is in his control at this point, and you gave him all of those options. So now you kind of just have to deal with the repercussions of whatever happens in the future, right? Because essentially, if you've been together for 6 years, if he decides to just up and leave or do something that bothers you to a very high degree where you don't feel like you could be in the relationship, you now have wasted 6 years that you can't get back, plus 6 years of prime time in your life, your early 20s, where you were at your peak value, right? Where you're gonna be your most beautiful, you're most fertile to have children and really start a family. And the man, essentially, he walks away not really losing anything, right? So you come this far, you waited 6 years, kind of have to be okay with that fact. And if you want to make a change, you don't have to, but you're giving it another 3 years. So let's say it essentially gets down to 9 years you guys were together. He ups and leaves, or just never marries you, and you have to end the relationship. He walks away with no harm done. You walk away now with a time in your life where you have to heal from that long-term relationship, and then you have to put yourself back out there on the dating market. And if you haven't been out there on the dating market for the last 6 years, hell, it's very different than how it was previously. But you know, that's just the way it's going to be. And if you're comfortable with that decision, then you know it is what it is. But I see a lot of women who are in their early 20s kind of doing the same.